Coming up on OU Nightly, Americans are being urged to leave the Middle East due to missile threats. Hear reactions from U.S. officials.
And to start off your March, rain and storms are going to be impacting Norman. I'll have the forecast.
Plus, a $50 million loan is approved to fund the Rock Creek Entertainment Center. This is OU Nightly.
Severe weather is expected to hit campus tonight. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Reagan Garvin.
And I'm Leah Smith. It seems like a storm could be coming along today. We could definitely feel the humidity outside.
Let's head over to OU Nightly meteorologist Scotty Allen. Scotty, what are the storms looking like on the forecast?
With a live look here at radar, we do have some spotty showers here along I-40 coming into the metro, but according to the National Weather Service, it is still too dry for that rainfall to reach the ground. But as conditions are going to be changing overnight, we still have that level 1 out of 5 risk by the Storm Prediction Center for severe weather as we go into the later evening hours tonight. And that main risk that's going to be associated with these storms is going to be that hail threat, and it's on the lower end. So we're only primarily looking at hail for tonight, but there's going to be some more severe weather potential throughout the week as we have a multi-day severe risk. I'll go over the storm timing, and hopefully that drought relief will be on its way. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Scotty. The U.S. is urging Americans to leave the Middle East immediately.
It's day 4 of the U.S. and Israel's war with Iran, and the U.S. State Department is warning Americans in the Middle East of threats of missile and drone attacks.
The U.S. is asking Americans to leave using commercial travel, but most of the region's flights are canceled.
The U.S. also ordered non-emergency government workers to leave 5 Middle Eastern countries due to security concerns. This comes after Israel launched 2 strikes this morning targeting Iranian military sites.
One U.S. embassy was hit by 2 suspected Iranian drones, and another announced it was closing until further notice.
CNN correspondent Brian Abel is at the White House and has an update on the status of these embassies and reactions from government leaders.
The U.S. embassies in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait both hit by suspected drone attacks and now shut down. As Iran steps up its retaliatory strikes on American assets and allies in the Middle East, the State Department warning all Americans to leave almost the entire region immediately. This, as some members of Congress are questioning Operation Epic Fury, saying from the information they've seen, there was no imminent threat to the U.S. by the Iranians.
There was a threat to Israel. But if we equate a threat to Israel as the equivalent of an imminent threat to the United States, then we are in uncharted territory.
This is the 4th day of this war. We've had 4 different explanations of why we decided to invade Iran.
The White House not ruling out sending more troops into the line of fire. In an interview with the New York Post, President Trump said he would put boots on the ground if they were, quote, necessary. A similar message from the Pentagon.
We'll go as far as we need to go.
More than 700 people have been killed in Iran since the war began, according to the U.S.-based human rights activist news agency. And President Trump is warning Iran the largest strikes are yet to come. Trump posting on Truth Social Tuesday morning, their air defense, Air Force, Navy, and leadership is gone. They want to talk. I said, too late. At the White House, Brian Abel reporting.
Thank you, Brian. President Trump says he expects the war to last 4 to 5 weeks and says that defense manufacturers are accelerating weapons production.
Continuing our coverage on the Iran war, 3 U.S. jets were accidentally shot down over Kuwait. Matthew Carson has that in the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
3 U.S. fighter jets crashed in Kuwait due to a, quote, friendly fire incident.
And we know that this was not from hostile enemy fire.
Kuwait Air Defenses shot down 3 F-15E fighter jets. Each jet cost over $10 million. The jets were flying in support of the military operation in Iran. All 6 crew members ejected safely. And police are investigating whether the Austin shooting this weekend was an act of terrorism. The shooter, who was killed by police on the scene, was wearing clothes with an Iranian flag design and the words, "Property of Allah." The shooting happened after the U.S. and Israel strike on Iran, and it is currently unclear if the events are linked. Police plan to release the body cam footage. And Colin Gray, the father of Georgia's school shooter Colt Gray, was found guilty of murder and manslaughter. Prosecutors accused Gray of buying an AR-15 rifle for his son, despite warnings his son was a danger to others. Gray was convicted on all 27 counts. And police were called to a middle school in Iowa after a student stabbed another student. Reagan, Leah, back to you.
Thanks, Matthew. The search for the new Oklahoma State Superintendent is ongoing with the election to take place November 3rd. Candidates for the election include Adam Pugh, John Cox, Tony Hasenbeck, and Anna Lansaw for the Republican Party. For the Democratic Party, there is Craig McVeigh and Janetti Marshall, and Jerry Griffin is running for the Independent Party.
$50 million in funding has been approved for the Rock Creek Entertainment District. This amount is known as a bond anticipation note, which is a short-term loan to help fund the arena. This comes a month after the Oklahoma Supreme Court approved that plans to build the Rock Creek Entertainment District can move forward without a public vote. And cannabis culture is changing on some college campuses.
We'll have more on what's new at these universities when we come back.
And you might notice something different about your tax refunds this year.
Find out how you might be impacted next.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Primary elections are starting today in many states, with one being Texas. With primaries being today, more than $250 million have been spent on ads for the elections in Texas alone. Along with this, many people have their eyes on the Texas Senate primaries because of how both the Democratic and Republican contests will offer clues of what the parties are moving towards.
And tax filing season is underway, but this year your refund may be larger for a couple of reasons. CNN correspondent Ivan Rodriguez discusses why and how people can take advantage of their extra cash.
There's two main reasons why Americans might receive a larger tax refund this year. First, Congress made a number of new and expanded tax breaks effective for tax year 2025. Also, most people did not adjust the tax withholding on their paychecks last year to account for the changes in their tax breaks.
Some people are getting larger child tax credits, lower tax brackets were extended. So for most people, there should be a little bit more in that tax refund this year.
Through the week ending February 20th, just about 29 million people had received 2025 federal tax refunds, averaging $3,800, according to the IRS. That's more than 10% higher than the same period last year.
This money can make a big difference in your overall financial well-being.
Ted Rossman with Bankrate says there are a few things to consider in terms of where to put your money to best use.
Credit card debt payoff should be a priority because the interest rates are so high. The average credit card debt load is around $6,700 according to TransUnion. If you make minimum payments towards that average amount at the average interest rate, you're in debt for close to 20 years.
Other areas to look at include boosting your emergency savings, saving for a home purchase, and investing. Although Rossman suggests not investing until you've checked off a few other boxes.
Historically, stocks have returned an annual average of about 10%. So your money's going to be doubling roughly every 7 years when that happens. So if you put that tax refund in today, that $3,800 could be around $10,000.
Rossman tells me it's important to remember that you don't have to make it all or nothing. For some households, it might make sense to pay off some debt and boost savings, but you can also have fun and use your money for a nice dinner or a concert. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Thanks, Ivan. A sweet event is returning to Norman for a second year this weekend.
Find out how you can give back to the community and get a sweet treat while doing it next.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
To OU Nightly. Now we have a live look from Campus Cam here with the National Weather Center looking along Highway 9. Now you can see these clouds are coming in. This is going to be along that cold front that's coming through. Then winds are going to start shifting soon and those temperatures are going to be dropping. Right now we are at 80 degrees right now, feeling nice outside. Enjoy that as it lasts as we got this cold front coming through. You can really see it with that 48 in Wichita, 80 here in Norman. This cold front's going to be what's driving this severe risk tonight. So even though that cold front's coming through the OKC Metro, the storms that form could have a hail threat. So with that hail threat, we are under a level 1 out of 5 risk from the Storm Prediction Center for severe weather for tonight. So timing out here with the Futurecast, we see these individual cells are going to be coming through. They're going to be spotty, scattered, so not widespread. Not everybody's going to get a storm, but the chances for some storms are still going to be having that hail risk. Now, as we go into Wednesday, the storms are going to be shifting here into eastern Oklahoma for McAllister and Idabel, and then into Arkansas. But these storms will be coming back Thursday as they're going to be forming here along eastern Oklahoma as they're going to be coming along I-44 into Oklahoma City. There's going to be the storm that forms into Thursday night. So through Wednesday, we're going to be having that storm risk down here into southeastern Oklahoma, and then that storm risk is going to be a level, we got a slight risk for tomorrow, and then into Thursday we have that slight risk again for the Panhandle regions as we have going in, and this is dodging Norman. But what's driving this severe weather? Well, we have this low pressure system, weak low pressure system here for tonight and into tomorrow. It's going to be driving eastward, bringing some spotty storm chances, but then the major threat is going to be Friday. The models still are a little bit iffy on what we're going to be getting and who's going to be getting these hazards, but there's going to be a dry line and a cold front, and there's going to be a strong low pressure system that's going to be forming here over Kansas, and this is going to be driving this severe threat as we go into Thursday and then into Friday. We're going to be having that threat come through Norman and then the cold air from behind, and that's really is going to be fueling these storms for Friday. So this is the main risk we're looking at for this week. It's an enhanced risk for day 4, so this means a pretty significant chance from the Storm Prediction Center for the risk of hazards here in eastern Oklahoma and the OKC metro, with large hail possible and tornadoes and all hazards on the table for significant severe weather. So your campus weather authority is going to be monitoring this throughout the week for these potential severe risks. And then looking here for your 7-day. So we got these rain chances increasing as we go out throughout the week. And then Friday is going to be that main day with all hazards possible for severe weather and that best chance for storms and rainfall as we've had that drought. So that rainfall is going to be much needed for that drought, and then we're going to be having those temperatures warm up into the 70s as we go into next week. So really going to be needing to monitor that severe risk throughout this week, especially Friday is really that pinpoint that we're looking at for here in Norman.
All right. Well, at least we got to experience some good, clear weather for a little bit. I think we said the last time that we experienced rain in Norman was Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day was our last rainfall.
Wow. And then we can expect hail?
Possibly. There could be a potential chance for some hail tonight and throughout the week.
Gotcha.
Well, I know we definitely could use some of that rain. Thanks, Scotty. Saturday will mark the 2nd annual Cookie Fest hosted by nonprofit Love Works Leadership. Cookie Fest is a fundraising event for Love Works that promotes local bakers, both professional and non-professional. The event will take place at The Well off of James Gardner Avenue from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tickets are available on their website, shown on your screen, with prices starting at $10.
The worrisome and fast-growing measles outbreak has doctors worried that the disease is back and here to stay. Bella O'Neill-Dooley has that and more in today's Health Beat.
There are currently over 1,100 confirmed measles cases, 6 times higher than an average year, according to the CDC. The World Health Organization postponed their meeting reviewing the measles outbreak to November. Measles has been considered eliminated since 2000, and now researchers have more time to figure out if that title should change. And President Donald Trump signed an executive order to protect a national supply of an herbicide, but doctors are warning against it. Glyphosate is a widely used herbicide sprayed on crops to kill weeds and in dry crops for an earlier harvest. The World Health Organization classified glyphosate as a carcinogen in 2015. You can limit your exposure by buying organic and washing your produce. And college students gaining professional understanding of cannabis is being normalized. At the University of New England in Maine, the college will soon provide a 16-week online course to earn certificates in cannabis cultivation, retail, sales, and compliance. There will also be an 8-week course for a cannabis associate certificate. And this cannabis embrace has also hit Oklahoma. The University of Tulsa provides a minor in cannabis studies through a deep foundation of the cannabis industry and hands-on experiences. Reagan, Leah, back to you.
Thanks, Bella. According to reports, a former Sooner was released from his only team in the big leagues,
while another athlete decided to make Norman his new home, joining the rest of his family.
There have been a lot of changes and surprises in OU sports this week, but one specific bit of news left Sooner fans less than pleased and caught the attention of a prominent figure in OU athletics. Find out who this is and more next in sports.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet doors to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hello, I'm Gracie Stubblefield, and it's time for sports. OU women's basketball freshman Aaliyah Chavez got a lot of recognition this season, but missed out on one award that sparked attention. Fans weren't the only ones with reactions to this news, as OU Athletic Director Roger Denny expressed his thoughts on his X account, where his response was simply confusion. Despite an SEC record of 8 weekly honors, Chavez did not receive the Freshman of the Year award, but she was named to the All-SEC second team. Fellow Sooner Reagan Beers was named to the All-SEC first team, her second consecutive award in the category. It's the home finale in Norman for OU men's basketball as the Sooners take on Missouri tonight at the LNC. This team has had its ups and downs, recovering from 9 straight losses to win 4 out of their last 6 games. It's senior night for 5 Sooners, and head of their special night, Nigel Pack reflected on his time as a Sooner.
I feel like I've known these guys for so long, just the bonds we created and the memories and things like that, the good and bad that we fought through. It was just something I remember for the rest of my life, and I'm glad to made the decision I did to come here, and I'm glad everything's happened the way it has, because it builds us as men at the end of the day, and I'm glad. I really still think we have a chance to do something special.
It's going to be a family affair in Norman. As per Rivals, 5-star linebacker Cooper Witten has officially committed to Oklahoma. Starting in 2027, he'll share the field with his father, Jason Witten, who was hired as the team's new tight ends coach in January. According to multiple reports, former Sooner Kyler Murray's time in Arizona is seemingly over, as the Cardinals informed him today that they intend to release him. Murray played 7 seasons with the Cardinals and made 2 Pro Bowls. Coming off a 7-1 loss against Gonzaga, OU baseball is staying at home for a midweek matchup tonight. The Sooners take on Dallas Baptist, where they have lost the last 4 meetings. Ahead of the game, OU head coach Skip Johnson said they'll want to see success sooner than later.
Games are won and lost in the first inning. Most of the time, that's when the games are won and lost. If you can score early, everybody's fastball gets better, their breaking ball gets better, all that stuff.
Staying on the diamond, coming off of a weekend full of wins at home, tonight at 6, OU softball is headed to take on North Texas in Denton for their first true midweek road game. Patty Gasso's team has never lost in Denton and are currently on an 8-game win streak. Leah, Reagan.
Some fan favorite menu items are back at Starbucks.
Find out what items returned and what new ones you'll be seeing when we come back.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here's a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
From Honduras is set to serve over 6 years in federal prison. Last July, he refused to follow an Oklahoma ICE officer's directions and drove away from the scene. He pled guilty in September of last year to assaulting, resisting, and impeding a federal officer. He was sentenced today to 78 months in prison. After serving his sentence, he will be deported back to Honduras. Leah, Reagan.
Thanks, Shayna. We're going to take one last look at the weather. Scotty, what can we expect?
Yeah, that's right. We have severe weather coming for this week. We have a hail risk for tonight, and then going into tomorrow, the storm shifts into eastern Oklahoma for Wednesday, but then comes back into Norman, affecting these storms Thursday and Friday. Friday's our main threat, so we're going to be continuing to monitor that throughout the week. So, of course, with severe weather coming on the way, this is definitely a perfect reminder to check and go sign up for weather calls. So this is where you can hear from OU Nightly's own meteorologist and warn you about severe weather coming on the way, any severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings. So make sure to sign up for this so you can be well alerted for when these storms could be impacting your area. So yeah, definitely going to be having to continue to monitor this, and we're your campus weather authority. So we're going to be monitoring Norman and making sure that everybody knows what's happening, when are these severe storms going to be happening, and all those hazards possible with it. So we'll be continuing to monitor that.
Absolutely. Thanks, Scotty. And guys, we might be springing forward this weekend, but Starbucks is ahead of the game.
The coffee shop's spring menu is available to order starting today.
The lineup includes chai, ube, lavender, and coconut flavored drinks.
And along with the new choices, Starbucks is also bringing back its iced lavender cream matcha.
But if you don't like the lavender, later this spring, Starbucks will unveil its new iced mango cream matcha as well. That's exciting. I gotta go try those.
It is very exciting. I'm kind of excited for the ube, you know, a nice little nutty vanilla flavor.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's purple too.
A purple yam. Who doesn't love purple?
That's so true. I think I'm most excited for the coconut. What about y'all?
Oh yeah, let's try it.
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you guys, and thank you so much for watching OU Nightly. I'm Reagan Garvin.
And I'm Leah Smith. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. We'll be sure to watch live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.